Okay, guys. Hello. We are back with another grammar um, lesson. Here we go. We're going to talk about the M dash. The M dash. EM dash. It's also just known as the dash. So first off, let's go over this punctuation mark and how you even make it. So on your keyboard, to make an M dash, you hold Shift Option minus sign. Shift Option minus sign will give you that M dash. It's like a longer line, not a hyphen. It's a longer hyphen, right? It's an M dash is what it's called. So there's two ways you could use an M dash in your writing. And M dashes are used with interrupters. And we haven't really talked about interrupters so much, but normally you see interrupters in a sentence and they have commas around them, right? Dashes can replace commas if you want to indicate a stronger break than a comma would provide. Let me show you an example. So here's a sentence with just commas, right? So here's a sentence with an interrupter with commas. Take a look. My uncle, comma, I strongly suspected, comma, knew nothing about remodeling houses. So this is called an interrupter. You don't really need it for the sentence to work. If we take it out, my uncle knew nothing about remodeling houses. Uncle is the subject. Knew nothing, knew is the verb. So we don't need I strongly suspected. It's extra information. It's an interrupter and it's set off with commas. But if you want to have a little bit more emphasis, you would replace that interrupter, the commas with dashes. So here's the same sentence now with dashes. My uncle, I strongly suspected, knew nothing about remodeling houses. The only difference here is I replaced those commas with dashes just for emphasis. Let's take a look, a couple more examples. So here we have that orange jacket, believe me, fails to complement your lime green pants. Believe me is my interrupter. I don't need that for the sentence to work. That orange jacket fails to complement your lime green pants. Believe me is just that added bonus. It's interrupting. So I'm setting it off with dashes here. One more example. An honest politician, if such a creature exists, would never agree to such a plan. So here my interrupter, if such a creature exists. I'm setting it off with M dashes. Notice there's spaces on both sides. There's spaces on both sides, right? That's how you would type it. Please make sure there's a space on either side. Okay, that's one way you use a dash is with an interrupter. The second and last way is with a list, right? So an M dash to follow a list. So a writer can use a dash to set off a summary and explanation that follows a list. In this case, the dash acts almost like a colon in reverse. Now remember, we just talked about colons. And I told you that colons introduce list, right? So here, the dash follows the list. So here's a couple of examples. Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes, M dash. These are all German auto companies. So I have my list and the dash is after the list. Joshua, Jason, and Victor, dash. They all objected to Miguel's engagement to Vanessa. So do you see that in this case, it's following the list? Okay. I hope that makes sense. Again, to make an M dash in your Google Doc or Google slide, it's Shift Option minus sign. Okay. We'll be practicing in class.